What is up and welcome back, team. I'm just doing a new microphone angle, trying to make it a little bit crispier, and I'm cramming this video in for the love of the game. Look, I'm going away for work this week, so I just wanted to pump this video out with my changes since the last draft rankings for you guys, because I know it's draft season. There may be some people having a draft this week. I don't want to leave you guys in the lurch, so cool, my microphone not playing ball off the rip, epic. I don't want to leave you guys in the lurch, so I'm going to pump this video out. Consider this like 90% updated. A lot of changes since the last video, guys. A lot of changes since the last video. So please pay attention. There was a few blunders in the last video for my rankings and a few things that haven't changed because I was spot on with them where I'd put the focus, where I had applied the magnifying glass. So draft Supercoach rankings. NRL Fantasy Draft rankings, I don't know if I'll do them because I don't have a league this year. I don't have a reason really to do draft NRL Fantasy rankings, but Supercoach wise, this is it, because upside is far more important. It's why Supercoach is the better draft platform, okay guys? So that's the focus here. I'm going to flick straight over to the screen. And I'm just going to work my way through my big board, so you can scan ahead if you really want, but I'm going to make it large and in charge, and we're just going to work left to right and down sort of thing. So just bear with how this looks on the screen. All right, I'm down here. You can see me, but we're going to start over in the hookers, fam. Okay, you see the key here: upside, gamble, boom, value, regression, risk. Off the top, Harry Grant, Damien Cook is a tier above if he lands that dual role, which I do think he will. I just don't know if it'll be 80 minutes. He's a big risk. Do not take him in the early rounds. Just due to me wanting to use this and have accessibility, if I could, these kind of guys, they would be down in this Tino, Joey, probably lower. Harry would sit above. So just don't overthink where the hookers are, guys. You don't really want to prioritize hookers, okay? I don't like how Cameron doesn't have a border on him. There we go. This is all pretty meh. Just hookers, don't prioritize them. If you want to win your league, do not prioritize hookers. I'm not going to go into too much here, but someone like Mamazelos has risk associated. Jacob Little, what are the minutes? I can risk Mamazelos because I don't know how much competition he has that's real against someone like Little, right? Blake Brayley, he's always wanting upside out of him and it never comes. So don't overinvest in Blake Brayley, even though he's great to have. He's pretty durable, doesn't play Origin, all that good stuff. Someone like Reece Robson, he's awesome, but he plays Origin, and that's why he faded so hard late last year. And a lot of people who should have traded high on him. You should have traded high on Reece Robson last year, sort of during that Origin period after he started the season so good. He came plummeting down. But then you're going to say to me, who would I get for him? Exactly. He's a set and forget sort of hooker for 50 points, so I'm not going to argue with you there, but that's why hookers, boring and not a good place to place your chips and bets. Why do I have this gap here? No idea, but don't overthink it. AFB, he's still number one just because of the try scoring upside. We saw Tommy Hazelton score a try on the weekend to start the game for the Sharks because props in the Sharks for some reason score tries. That's because Blake Brayley is better than his brother offensively. That's the reason. Mitchie Barnett, there's just some risk tied in there. I kind of thought he would regress. I'm still keeping the regression label on him because he wasn't very good when he played big minutes as a prop. He was really good when he played big minutes as an edge back rower or went in between the two roles in a big minute outing. So I'm just not sure about Mitch Barnett, but you can't deny who and what he is and what he could provide. There's just a big forward pack there. For the Warriors, I'm going to sit a little bit on an angle so I don't have to like bend my back. Payne Haas, we love him, but he plays Origin, same as Mitch Barnett. I think that is a reason that, look, they're in this tier, just something to consider. I'm just, Origin, man, I don't know, it's a lot of drain on these lads. We do see Origin players, not all of them, but some of them fade, especially big boppers as the year goes on, sort of when because of the Origin drain. Terrell Mate, love him. He's getting massive hype in Classic, so you're going to have to pay for him. That's the problem. And paying for a prop, don't love it. Guess what? Just like hookers, don't love it. Tino and Joey, I do think they're a tier down. Tino, because he's coming back from injury, tons of mouths to feed in that pack. So they might just play him 55 minutes a game, which he'll be fine and serviceable, but I'm expecting a bit of a regression off that high average out of the year before last. Joey Taps, I like Joey Taps as a bit of a value. He's sort of one of those guys not people don't really talk about, but people who owned him, they kind of want him back. He's that kind of sits out. It's where he sits in draft. If it's your first year though, I like him as a bit of a value, lesser known guy, doesn't play Origin, tends to finish the season strong. We like that. We like this finishing the season strong. Steph, he'll be a fun draft guy because of what he could provide. I've heard a range of different things. People think he won't be very good. People think there'll be an adjustment period. People think he'll boom late into the season as he sort of finds his feet with Harry Grant. I've got him ranked where I think is appropriate. He's a bit of an unknown quantity, so therefore he sits in off the top 2 tiers, but he leads the other guys who I think ceilings are capped. All right? I'm balancing what Steph's ceiling could be with the unknown risk associated with him. If he starts really well too, could play Origin. We don't like that. Then the rest are pretty boring. I don't have any other major call-outs in here. Royce Hunt's got heaps of classic hype, but I don't think you should fall for it in draft. Yeah, nothing else really jumps out. Naf White, bit of classic hype, and yeah, could be a great late pick. Who knows? Let's talk about 2RS next. I've switched I think I didn't have Fafita first last week. I may have, I can't remember, but Fafita's first this week. I've just been thinking about it, and he's one of those guys who can consistently go 100 plus. He can go through purple patches, let's say, of getting a couple of hundreds where not many other back rowers can do that without tries, or they need a fair bit of things to go their way. I love Isaiah Yeo, but plays Origin. Fafita, I think he'll play Origin this year, so I'm penciling that in against his injury risk. Otherwise, he might be in a tier of his own, guys, honestly. Eliesa Katoa, love him. He has a little bit of a lower floor than the other guys, I reckon, but doesn't play Origin. We love that shit. He'll be fitter and stronger with the Storm in the preseason. We love that. I think Eli Katoa is still a buy. He's still a guy you can spend top dollar for and feel pretty good about it, in my estimation. He isn't the most durable, anecdotally, but do like him. Haumole, I think, sits below. Like, we've wanted Haumole to pop, but he has that low floor. There's 38s, there's mid 40s in Haumole's game that the other guys don't really have. But he doesn't quite have the ceiling of a Katoa to kind of offset it the way Katoa does. And he plays Origin. We don't like that. Angus Crichton, you're just not sure. Love him, just not sure. So therefore, I'm factoring that in and the Origin. So Angus really should be in this top 4. But for me, I don't want to get too hyped up on it and make a mistake. So I'm just kind of having him there for my planning, guys. But you can do differently if you froth him. I think he really did benefit from Kiri, though. I'm just going to say that. Nicker or Hudson Young, they're the tier beneath. Just those buys. I'm not interested. Hudson Young, never really interested. I don't really want to watch Raiders games every weekend if one of my top 5 picks is in a Raiders game. I don't really want to do that, but yeah, I think we saw probably one of his best seasons last year. Don't know how much of that he has in him this year, and that buy, not that keen. Is that buy right? Raiders, I think that buy's wrong. I think that's meant to be the Tigers buy that's round 24. Yeah, oh no. That's wrong though. I just can't remember exactly off the top of the dome who it is. So just where else I got a round 24 by? Sorry, fam. This is a dead spot on Airways. Just trying to see if we've got a round 24 set anyway. Tigers. Maybe it is Tigers Raiders. No. Raiders, it is. So round 24 by. Okay, I'm an idiot. Sorry, guys. I will just grab that because it is pretty important for a few things. I didn't know that for Joey. Don't love it. And I didn't know it for Fogs. So just chuck that in there. Even for Ethan. Look, round 24 bye, not the end of the world. It's not as bad as the 25-26. I think that sucks. But yeah, annoying. On the flip side, at least if they have a round 24 bye, they're playing the next 2 rounds. That's kind of a benefit. Maybe you see it as a boon, guys. It is strategically something to consider. Let's get through this, though. Jermaine Hopgood, quiet year last year due to injuries and just the team sucking. So there's a bit of value to be had with him. Mitchie, you'd have to check if he's still got the duel. I think he does. Pat Carrigan could earn the duel. Love that for him. So he does make that tier break, in my opinion. I think we're in for a big year for Keon, just personally. I think Wayne will get him tuned up for the type of footy he wants to play. So don't hate Keon this year, but people who own him know kind of how good he could be. So just bear that in mind with Keon. Cam Murray, I'm not interested, but someone might be. Bo Fermor, I am interested. Isaiah Papali'i, I'm really interested. The more I think about him, the more I like him, but I'm being realistic. Look, the reason someone like Isaiah Papali'i is really important to talk about in a draft rankings video like this, even though I'm trying to hammer this out, is you want to think about who is someone I can spend X amount of dollars on or draft in a reasonable spot in a draft that could finish in the top 5. Angus Crichton last year was a waiver pickup who finished in the top 4 positionally, right? That's league winning differentiation. Same as Eli Katoa, you probably didn't have to get him for where he ended up. Maybe in Snake, but in auction you didn't. This year, these are the kind of guys, maybe less Beau Fermor, but I'm just trying to... and Jacob Preston, who have scope to finish in this range, okay? Those tier leaping characters or having the ability to do that is where you want to focus your draft energy, guys. So really like Jacob Preston as well, but I'm a little unsure just with the recruitment there and blah, blah, blah. I just don't want to overspend on a guy like him because he could just peter out, play 60 minutes, score you 45, and he's a waiver kind of guy or a third 2RF. So not sure about that. Ewan Aitken, never the most durable, but love him for Wayne, and he's just for some reason has a bit of a Supercoach game about him. That's probably a bit high. I need to work on fleshing some of this out as I spend more time. Max Plath, too many mouths to feed, I think. Jaden Sewer, I'm expecting him. He peaked last year. Ruben Cotter, just Origin. I'm just not sure up there. Maybe with some of the personnel changes, he plays more minutes. I don't know where I'm at with Cotter. It might be a trials type adjustment. Sean Blaw, I think he's got a bit more in him now that him and Munster have built that combo and another off-season to develop his durability and his game style. So Sean Blaw does provide potential value, just don't overspend. That's the same story for most of these guys. They have value, they have upside, but you just can't risk overspending, so they sit in a big tier together. That next risky tier beneath is this one. Someone like Bryce Cartwright, again, if Moses is healthy and he has his way, Bryce can finish in this tier. He can finish in this tier. He is someone you want to throw a dart at late in the draft and see what happens. Or you get really unlucky like me last year where I threw the dart, he popped off in the first 2 games, went bananas, and then he never really did it again and he just wasted a bench spot for me all season. Heartbreak. Talis Duncan, I don't really know why I put him there, but who knows? Keep an eye on him. Fini Fuaki, I'm hearing minute share. I think this is a bit steep for him, guys, so I'm just going to live do this. I just don't think he belongs in this tier. I'm using my left hand on the mouse. Pardon me. Yeah, he belongs in this group because of the minute share and maybe worse. I don't know. There's risk associated with all this. You just take a few stabs. But you look at a guy like, Ryan Madison, the classic Sean Lane. They're guys you want to throw a dart at late in the draft just to see where they end up. Halves, it's sort of similar. There's reasons you would take these guys in the top 5. There's reasons you might not take them first pick. Nathan, I think, still is first pick. Same story last year when he played his epic. How much will he play? I put the Origin there to keep it tight. I don't know if he does play. Nico's round 25 buys a killer, but again, round 25, if you're a 26, 27, 26 final, at least you know he's playing next weekend. So if you can plan accordingly with this, get someone else late that can cover that, or, lots of stuff happens in round 25 that you might be able to mitigate against. He still belongs in this group until we see another year of regression to confirm that with Trindle. Big tier break. It doesn't need to be this big. I'm just kind of like picturing where the scoring output ceiling type stuff is with these guys, if that makes sense. Like, this is just one break, but what I'm trying to say is that these guys have the most scoring. They have more scoring capacity than 5/8s, if you get me. Just for my own, this is my early research. This is not how I end up drafting. There's a lot on the bottom of these sheets. You'll see I do a lot to make it different. So anyway, Matt Burton Daly. Burton doesn't really have the base, but he goal kicks. Team could be okay. He has big games, small games, plays Origin, sucks. Daly's just a bit old, but just love his the team's offense, his chemistry, his connections. Moses, similar. I like Jerome Luai. Okay, I do. I saw a little bit last year. We all saw it actually when Nath was out. And then I saw Critter with the leadership role at Bulldogs. I think Luai's hated. You can benefit from how much people hate him in the draft. He has the ability to finish at the top of this tier, but if you're paying for him where everyone else is, which is in this tier, this is where he should be from like historical rankings, and he can finish in that tier and you get him for the right value, hey, that's those little decisions, those little upticks, that's where you win leagues. Dylan Brown's the big guy to drop in out of this tier in this one, and then out of this tier in this one. He has the dual, remember, from last year. He has an ACL sprain. For the rest of his career until that ACL ruptures, he is at risk of doing that injury, guys. So we saw it with Sam Walker. He went all season basically without doing it. But if you're like me, you didn't draft him because you knew about the ACL sprain, and it finally went. And he looked great all year, Sam Walker, until it went. So just, you could get lucky. It could not happen this year, but he's not a guy I'm interested in. I don't play those big injury risks if I can avoid it. Obviously, like I draft Nathan Cleary, it's different because the upside at the value is different, if that makes sense. What you're spending for Dylan Brown in your leagues, especially people who live in Sydney, where there's going to be a lot of para fans probably and Dylan Brown fans, it isn't worth the risk there. It isn't worth what can go wrong, I think. And I don't like his upside. I owned him last year out of a trade, and when I needed him to punish bad teams, he didn't. Not interested in the rest, really. Like, they're the draftable guys. I just don't really need to talk about it. I think Sam Walker's a guy you need to target late with a dart throw. Tyron Wishart, if you draft Jerome Hughes or something, must have. You need to focus on that handcuff. These other guys, they're just dart throws. Carter Gordon's interesting. I'd love to see him play in a trial, see what's up. Brad Schneider, again, good handcuff. It's pretty clear what you're doing there. I don't need to go into detail. 5'8", pretty boring. This is a ceiling thing. Jaden has a ceiling that we haven't seen from Galvin, and therefore he's better than Galvin. But I love Galvin's durability. Is he going to have that like sophomore slump, the basketball thing we see second year guys? They fade, they fizzle. I'm not sure, but I can't deny that I like him. This buy is annoying. It's not a deal breaker for me. Burton's probably better than Galvin, but Galvin's not going to play Origin. Galvin's a playmaker, I don't know, but I haven't also seen him with Luai, so that's the risk. Does he belong there? He belongs in this tier. Have I got this a bit wrong? Maybe. You don't. It's a tier bracket. You don't need to overthink it. Pick who you want here. Have I got Munster too low? Probably, but I'm seeing durability. I'm seeing Origin. I'm seeing taking a back seat. There's going to be some good games where you're going to say, wow, that guy's an idiot. And then if he's not there for finals, I'm going to look smart. But yeah, the come around, not a guy I'm targeting because I'm in a league of Queenslanders. People froth Munster on the name value. He will go for overs. But if he goes for unders, I will grab him because it's a boring position. I don't really want to sweat my 5/8. This tier I've spoken about a bit. This tier is interesting. Metcalf looked good on the trials. I think he kicked goals, didn't he? Could be wrong on the goal kicking, but regardless. KO Weeks, yeah. Cody Walker, he probably should be like up here, but he's old. And the buy, dude. The buy. That and just he's got to regress soon. I'm just not a fan either. I just don't want to watch him play footy, honestly. Supercoach is about fun. I'm not going to have fun watching Cody Walker. Ethan Strange, Talangi, same risks, same upsides. Talangi, way more upside, but same issues. Just Strange will have more base, I think, and more job security. I think Ethan Sanders is knocking, but I think if he comes in, I don't think they're going to relegate Strange to the bench. I think Strange will go play centre, guys. I think he'll push Chris out from a development perspective. You can't trust that bloody coach though, so Ricky Stewart. So don't put too much value into that. Do a good late dart throw. He just scores Supercoach points, so that's why. Kieran Foran, I could drop him out of there. Into the big guns. This is where it all happens. CT Dubs. This is hard. CT Dubs is really hard. But Lomax, the work rate, puts him just above Garrick. Garrick has the strength of schedule, the offensive output of the team, and the goal kicking as well as like Lomax puts him up. Val Holmes, probably the tier below if I'm being honest, but I've just seen that many times Val just scores well in Supercoach and he goal kicks, so he sits there. Herbie's my guy. I love that he doesn't play Origin. Love watching the Dolphins. Love supporting the Dolphins. Brian To'o, he's probably too low, guys. There's probably one big tier. I just wanted a little bit of a break with like the goal kickers and the non-goal kickers. I think that's valuable. They can sometimes be 14 points a game kind of difference, guys, and I think that deserves a tier break, and you got to understand. And with Toe just playing Origin, I just hate how hammered he gets. He is one of my favourite players. Do not get it twisted. I love Brian Toe. I'm just struggling with the Origin. The knee is always taped. I don't know which will he play, left or right. Someone in the Discord, shout out, you know who you are, did raise a great point where if last year was To'o's floor, he has to only go up, which puts him in tier 1. I totally understand that. Just with the way I've set this up though, I'm happy with Tayo, don't get me wrong. But the way I just think the goal kicking gives those guys that next tick for now. Karaz, I think I said last week he might be playing centre. I don't know where I got that from. I heard it on like a podcast or something. I could be wrong. Regardless, I think he belongs with these guys. So I'm happy with that. The Sharks boys, this tier is all you know, there's pros and cons with all these guys here that kind of give them. I love Ero again. I love a double dip on Ero. Owners of Ero last year, such as myself, we're going to want him again. Other people, he may have flown under the radar, potentially. He had the classic hype, actually, so maybe not. Maybe not, depending on your league. Don't love the buy, but I think he'll be better, honestly. I don't know why. He just had a sick work rate, good ball carrier. I think he'll score more. He finished the season real strong. Love him. Love Connor Tracy for the dual guys, fullback in your CT dubs. I think he'll be better. I think he'll have a bit more of a defined role. He'll have an off season to work on the chemistry and some of those sweeps. Really like Connor Tracy. Really like him. In fact, he could even slip up into that tier above. Not because I think he'll average 70, but I just think it's so valuable. He'll have a couple big games that are going to tick it over the edge. Dom Young is the regression candidate in this group, as well as Dane, but you just can't deny them. I can't risk telling you that they're going to be in this tier until I see it. This tier is huge, guys. Campbell Graham, the injuries, man. That guy, it's really sad because he's a stud when he's rolling, and the buy don't love it. Fletcher Sharp and Lehigh Hopewadi have reasons for being in here that can and can't make sense, because when the reason they're valued here is if they play fullback, they're epic CTWs. That's what it comes down to, and that's why they sit there. RTS, sort of the same deal. Now my nemesis, Greggles. I had him early, years ago in the Titans. He impressed me. Someone else got him when he boomed. I was really jealous. I traded for him. I was really jealous. I paid overs for him. I traded for him. Got him in a great deal. I won the league that year. Not really because of him, but it was epic. Next year, I dipped back in. I thought, how good's Greg? He's still undervalued in my league. No one watches the Knights. This is awesome. And Greg was diabolical. But guys, I'm dipping back in. I think he's the perfect dart throw. And it's the same logic as the other dart throws. You could get him at the value of Will Penasini, Bradman, Best, all these guys. Probably Best will go for higher because he's a bigger name in the game, and he's great. But I don't think Sivo's even in the league. Guys, I don't even think Sivo's in the league. Anyway, Greg Marju, let's say you're in an auction like I am, you probably can pay $1 to $4 for Greg. I think if everyone paid attention last year, it should be $1 because he was not a startable guy in our 10-team league. But he can actually finish in this tier legitimately. He only needs one try a game. I'm not saying he needs to score 27 tries. I'm saying, like, you know, if he just has a year where he scores 16 tries, which is feasible, he is here. You know what I mean? And that's exactly what you want to throw a dart at late, guys. I like Jack Howarth. Someone told me he's overrated, or someone said we're thinking too highly of him. Yeah, but I'm a big believer. Like, I've played sport. I've played lots of sport. 6 months between seasons to watch film, to train, to eat, to think about, to mature, to come back, knowing now you're that position, it is big for a guy. And it might not be this year, but I love a bit of a dart throw on Jack Howarth because that team is going to dominate. The Storm are going to dominate. Give me a slice of it without paying for Nick Meaney or Cam Munster, right? Do you kind of get me? That's why I like him. I love that other guy. Is he on here? You know, you all know who I'm talking about. The dude that the Broncos got. He's the other dude. I don't think he's starting though. I'm blanking. Grant Anderson. I really like Grant Anderson. I told you that on my potties. If you listened last year, you know I liked Grant Anderson. Same sort of deal. Give me a slice. Penasini. I'm pretty sure Will Penasini's like 23 this year. Max 24. He is so young. And he's slowly getting better, but he hasn't actually had that breakout year. Another guy you kind of want to throw a dart at. Just see, with Moses back, he kind of unlocks Will Penasini. He finished the year pretty strong, guys, last year. These are some values to look at. Sione, whatever. I don't even know if Marcus Sifo plays in the NRL. I need to, review that, and I actually just don't care. Jack Bostock. Rumours he's playing centre. don't love a guy for his first year at centre, but I know we saw Garrick, up at Bostock. I love him as a winger, man. He's a big Corey Oates. He's a tall gazelle, and he's athletic. He's strong, great finisher. If he plays outside Herbie, bit of a ball hog. Don't love that, but I like Jack Bostock. He's the perfect dollar dart throw, okay? Perfect dollar dart throw in an auction. Perfect late round pick if you need to fill your final CT dub or your bench CT dub. Jack Bostock, keep an eye on him. These guys, interesting, but don't know. Phil Sammy, not durable enough, not interested. Ali, maybe a year too early, not sure. Maybe the team isn't good enough, not sure. Jason Saab, perfect dart throw. Don't even know if Tommy starts because the Lehigh is so good. I love Lehigh Hopewade. He's really skinny though. Could be a durability issue, but we didn't really see much. We didn't see that come to fruition last year, but it could be a thing. Taruva will be crap. Pretty sure of it. Dean Mariner could be better at centre than he is at winger. I do like that. A couple of tackles. More just lifting him up a bit. Haven't got him listed. Arillo, don't know why I did that. Stone Street, I realise he won't start, but I just think he's a stud if there's a major injury to Mulatalo or Katoa. Stone Street's a stud, but can Stone Street only play left wing? I'm not sure, but yeah, keep an eye on him. Love him. Tango, perfect. Throw a dart at him. Pay $5. Draft him with your second to last round pick because what can he do, guys? He can finish in this slot. Gun. Just needs it to go right. Needs to get his head out of the sand. Needs Cleary to be healthy. Critter, not sure. I've heard Bronson Cherry spoken about in a value sleeper type vibe, a guy that could really, really pop. I'm not going to put my name to that with my blue highlighter, but it is something to consider. AKP is absolutely sick. Just isn't really super coachy. He's an in and out. He's a matchup play kind of guy. Skelton, he's a stud. He's a tackle breaker, but is he good enough at defense to keep his spot? I don't know, but he's a guy that if he's named to start, you need to probably try to get your mitts on him. I wouldn't drop a known quantity for Dural, but if you're a bit skatey because you've focused elsewhere, he's fine as your last CT dub to prove what he's got. I've got double ups on Stephen Crichton, so it shows how much I'm paying attention to the depths of my charts. Tomoko is also truly belongs up here. I don't know why I've got him so low, but that buy is an issue. I've got him blue because he is good. You need to view, even though he's all the way up here, you need to view Tomoko like Will Penasini, except he probably won't get the quality ball, so he probably needs to be a bit high, but he faded so hard last year. Let me come back to you on Matt Tomoko. Don't really care. These Roosters guys, yeah, just got to see it, hey, before we overinvest. Fullbacks to finish. I've gone as fast as I can. We're 27 minutes in. That's not too bad for a podcast, guys. To come in under 35 minutes, which I'm trying to hope to do. That's not too bad, right? I try and do this quick for you, trying to provide you guys with some value. Tommy's number one. The strength of schedule is too strong. He will probably pay Origin, which absolutely sucks. But he's too good. The team's too high offense, too high output. I think that's a fair rating. Drinky, I love it. I hate the buy. It's not great if you have your round, but otherwise most people shouldn't. Your finals should finish round 26 or round 25, preferably round 26. Because guys, missing 2 rounds because you finish in 25, it's a bit sad. I'm happy you missed the last round of the year, but play Supercoach to close as the end as you can, and 26 is fine. Ponga, yeah, he's probably better than Drinky, but they've got a tough schedule and he's less durable. And Drinky could get the kicking. Latrell, everyone's big on him. I got to keep him in this tier because it is the truth. He is a Supercoach gun. I don't see the durability, don't like the buy, and don't like the Origin. Teddy doesn't have the goal kicking that these other fullbacks have, and doesn't have the Ferrari Lamborghini style of Tom Turbo, but I'm not going to demote James Tedesco until I have to demote James Tedesco, if you get me. I'm happy owning him. Okay, he gives me a 45, a few 50s and 60s because the team's not as good as they were last year. But then he's going to give me a run of 80s, a run of 100s, and I'm okay with that too. I'm okay with Tedesco. Walsh, need to see the durability. He's going to play Origin. Don't know about the team, the ceiling and stuff. I get it. He might kick if Reynolds is injured. I get that. That's cool. He just belongs in this tier. He's still young. He could be better, but I don't trust him. I'm not targeting him. Dylan Edwards I like because there's a chance that Cleary goes down again. There's a real high chance and Edwards will benefit. and he might goal kick when that happens, but he plays Origin. He doesn't quite have that top end ceiling type thing, but we saw what he could do last year when he went on a bit of a hot streak. I like him. This is the perfect tier. This is a real fun tier. It's your last stab at a good fullback, in my opinion, because these other guys, they're fine, but they're not going to win you enough rounds on their own. Then it gets pretty boring, you know. Everyone talks about dream, like kind of this could be the year. That's fine, but he can't be your first fullback. Yongi, he can't be your first fullback. Lovely high. It's all good. Trey Fuller's fucking probably injured. Still good. These are a little handcuff territory down here. You see the HC? We love it. Guys, that's it. I hope you enjoyed this video. Appreciate all the new subscribers and all the new viewers. Draft is the best. Share it with your mates. I'll have more updates when I get back from Perth with work, and I will spend some time hopefully on that trip in the downtime doing a bit more of my prep and analysis. I have been working on a few different things. Thanks so much for watching and listening. If you're on Spotify, appreciate that. If you're on YouTube, please like, comment, let me know where you disagree, what you agree on, what draft pick you have and who you'd pick there. I'm happy to throw my 2 cents in to that discussion too. I'll have a dead set top 20 out. Maybe I'm going to actually go like top 22 out, or wait, top 24 out. Maybe I'll just do top 30 out, or actually I'm going to do top 36 out sometime next weekend, guys, because I think that's really important so people can get a feel for their first 3 picks, for example. So really keen to do that for you guys. But yeah, let's go draft. Thank you for listening and watching. Appreciate it.